And with me today is an absolute legend, Karl Jobst. How's it going, man?
The main pain of losing is just losing to Billy Mitchell.
I'm Billy Mitchell, and welcome to my channel.
Forever being known as the person who actually lost to Billy, I mean, that's gotta fucking hurt.
I want to blame, out of everything that could have went wrong for this lawsuit, I blame Cat Despira and Ersatz Cats for fucking over Karl.
Hello, my name is Walter, Ersatz Cats.
I had been personally told there was a cash settlement.
I'm Walter, I go by Ersatz Cats online.
It doesn't matter what you look like. A lot of things are going to take care of themselves if we can just go out and try to meet a lot of women.
The King of Kong chronicles the game Donkey Kong.
You know, playing King Kong and then being fingered for, you know, the cause of death of one individual.
Even if he wins, there's a chance that I don't even have to pay any of his court fees because the lawsuit was unreasonable and it shouldn't have happened.
I feel like Karl was a little too overconfident with his situation. I liken this to my lawsuit situation. When you actually dive into what she's suing me for, the reality is, in my humble opinion, there's nothing there.
Now, this is already stupid enough, as in my humble opinion, he has absolutely no case.
In my humble opinion, there's nothing there.
You want to get Billy on the stand for as long as possible because he's going to say some dumb shit.
You know, people feel the need to celebrate short-term wins. This is not a win at all in any capacity.
I spoke with Melanie Griffith yesterday. She was terrific.
Oh my lord.
We better get out of here before somebody puts a lie detector on us.
The world needs Billy to lose.
Mr. Jobst did not attempt to prove that finding by Twin Galaxies was correct.
This is a guy who wants to pound of flesh.
Expect me.
I think the whole system is fucked. You need to burn it down and start over.
Objection.
So I would just describe myself as a speedrunning journalist.
And he's willing to serve as a witness in the Twin Galaxy case.
What ended up happening was I got a really good law firm because when a billionaire comes at you and says, I'm going to pay your legal bills, you get a fucking good lawyer.
Let's look at the complete evidence. Who the fuck is Meal 456?
If Billy did try to run and avoid paying, that's going to stick with him forever.
Karl Jobst declares bankruptcy. Had you heard about this?
The time for appeal has lapsed. The judgment is final, Karl.
Imagine being the person who beat Billy Mitchell. I mean, you're forever immortalized.
Billy Mitchell, video game player of the century. Oh, Billy Mitchell always has a plan.
I really hope you enjoy.
Ever since this very video back in 2021, I have always endeavored to be much more careful about what I say.
Even in February 2024, as this action was progressing toward trial, he said in an online interview,
I will never let Billy forget this. I would never, ever let the world forget what he did. I'm the last chance the public has to punish Billy. Billy's lawsuit against me is the world's last chance to see this epic defeat happen. Billy Mitchell needs to be destroyed in court. The world needs Billy to lose. So these people need to be punished in a big way before they stop. I do my very best to serve Billy the loss he so desperately deserves. And also, like, the last person on YouTube you want to lose to is me. You know there's going to be 100 vids rubbing it in.
I've got to win first, but man, if I win, oh boy, I'm not going to be a good winner.
So who knows what the judge is thinking? Billy cannot handle himself. Many people are upset and angry with me as they believe I have misled them and lied to them about the nature of the lawsuit. I never said that Billy Mitchell sued me for cheating. I haven't led anyone to believe anything. I've said that I'm being sued for defamation, but I've never talked about the specifics of the lawsuit. If the lawsuit was apparently just about my claim about the Apollo Legends settlement, then why did many people believe that it was about allegations of cheating? Hello, you absolute legends. As many of you know, last year I was officially sued by Billy Mitchell. In September of 2021, Mitchell filed a $450,000 lawsuit against me. Hello, you absolute legends. As most of you know, back in 2021, Billy Mitchell, Video Game Player of the Century, sued me for defamation, claiming damages of $450,000.
A bitter war of Donkey Kong has exploded, with controversy over a high score making it all the way to a Queensland courtroom. An American video game champion is suing a Brisbane YouTuber over cheating claims.
Hello, you absolute legends. As many of you know, back in 2021, con artist of the century Billy Mitchell sued me for defamation, claiming damages of almost $500,000.
What about Karl Jobst? Why are you suing him?
Karl Jobst has nothing to do with video games. He's being sued because he's blaming the death of an individual, Apollo legend, on me.
And you're suing him for defamation for making that blame?
Has nothing to do with video games.
Because he died?
No. Stupid question.
Let's go out the record for that.
Let's second. It's 11:38. We're going up to it.
I will say that Billy Mitchell being a video game cheater is extremely relevant to the lawsuit. I'm dealing with a frivolous lawsuit from a psychopath.
The complaint actually says nothing, not a single word about video games. Nothing.
The reason Billy originally sued me was because of Apollo Legend. I have done absolutely nothing wrong. I got one little detail wrong. I did, however, get one statement of fact wrong.
For those of you who haven't seen it, here's the clip.
And paid him a large sum of money. This was all too much of a burden, and he ultimately took his own life.
Mr. Jobst was also reckless and vindictive in publishing the full video twice.
This cannot be ignored.
To be clear though, I never said Billy caused Apollo's suicide, nor have I ever believed that.
Yet even after finding out the truth, he has continued to assert that the settlement had a negative financial impact on Apollo Legend.
No one is responsible for Apollo's decision other than Apollo.
And that he still believes that the settlement was a contributing factor to his decision to commit suicide.
This is a guy who wants his pound of flesh.
Expect me.
A Brisbane YouTuber will have to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars after accusing a high-profile gamer of cheating and contributing to the death of another gamer.
I never stated that Mitchell's lawsuit caused or could have caused Apollo's death. I didn't accuse Billy of murdering Apollo or causing his death, so I don't think I should have lost the lawsuit, but at the end of the day, I said something that was not accurate. I believed at that time that Apollo Legend did pay Billy Mitchell money in the settlement.
I have found that the video made each of those defamatory imputations.
We are raising money for dementia research in honor of my late mom. All the money goes to the Open Hand Foundation, an organization that we started in honor of my mom.
I hate to say this, but it needs to be said. The way Gerard uses his dead mother is sickening. Maybe if I was the only variable in this whole mess, I could battle my way through it alone. But unfortunately, this affects my entire family too. And psychologically and financially, some help would really benefit not only me, but them as well. So I have set up a GoFundMe to help with my fight against Billy Mitchell. And what you need to understand is that it's not just my money. I have a wife and son. It's their money too. It's my wife's money just as much as it is mine. I'm sure if you asked her, she'd really like to have that money.
Karl Jobst is turned into the one thing he hated most.
I should have been more transparent about the money not being donated, and that's on me.
I have seen people point to the description of the GoFundMe and say that it didn't provide enough information or exact details about what the lawsuits and threats were about, and in that regard, I totally understand if people think that was bad practice or an issue. I can only apologize and say that I didn't give the description much thought. Billy supposedly wants to prove to the world that he didn't cheat. Trial is his opportunity to do this.
To be clear, I was not required to decide, nor did I decide, whether Mr. Mitchell had in fact cheated in gaining any of his world record scores.
If Mr. Jobs' joystick claim was true, then both him and Twin Galaxies would have walked into court, would have shown the photo, and won their case. Instead, neither Mr. Jobs nor Twin Galaxies ever attempted to use this photo at any point in the trial or even in preparation.
Dude, that was such an easy win for Twin Galaxies. There's no way that you can lose. I told Jace, well, I made it quite clear that he shouldn't have settled.
Mr. Jobst did not attempt to prove that that finding by Twin Galaxies was correct.
In my case, for example, I did everything to avoid a lawsuit. I made an offer never to say it again. And my retraction has like millions of views and the original claim has like 600. I would never make such a claim unless I had very good evidence to support my position.
Publishing the retraction at the time and in the manner he did was an aggravating feature of his conduct.
He is a disgraced cheater that everyone hates, no one wants him around, and I'm the only thing keeping him relevant.
Another Billy Mitchell video, another one, another one, another one, another one, another one, another one.
I am the Billy Mitchell guy.
Trying to build my YouTube channel, I felt like the Billy Mitchell thing was a very interesting topic. I mean, I love it.
The irony is that right now, it's me that's making Billy famous. And if I stopped talking about him, no one would care about him ever again.
Billy Mitchell is like a content creating machine. No matter how much I hate someone, I don't want to go there. But he is married and he does have children.
The next 12 months will not be good for Billy Mitchell. He has his trial against Twin Galaxies coming up, and in my opinion, and in the opinion of anyone who knows the details of Mitchell's cheating, he has absolutely no chance of winning. Especially when even more technical evidence showing that he cheated keeps coming out.
Twin Galaxies. What kind of defendant spends hundreds of thousands of dollars, even over $1 million according to his lawyer, litigating a case for 4 years to settle 3 months before trial? A defendant that expects to lose.
What's really funny is that despite me having nothing to do with the Billy Mitchell and Twin Galaxies legal battle, Billy has been obsessively ranting about me in that lawsuit for almost a year. According to Billy, there is a big conspiracy between me and Twin Galaxies to take him down.
The document I showed is a very interesting piece of document. It's the Twin Galaxy case. It is opposition to motion to disqualify. And he's willing to serve as a witness in the Twin Galaxy case. My YouTube videos often contain hyperbole, sarcasm, parody, and humor to make them more interesting to viewers. When talking on facts, I generally show evidence within the video. If this evidence isn't shown, my comments should not be misconstrued as factual.
Oh my lord.
What's a good summary of who you are so that we can kind of get to know you?
So I would just describe myself as a speedrunning journalist. So I also investigate gaming achievements or gaming history and then produce videos explaining important details. I worked from 2004 until 2017 and always hated work. I mean, I never went to university. I mean, I did go to university a couple of times, but I dropped out immediately. I don't like studying or anything. And I always hated work. I don't like studying or anything.
And he's willing to serve as a witness in the Twin Galaxy case.
I mean, I never went to university. I mean, I did go to university a couple of times, but I dropped out immediately. I don't like studying or anything. I started studying things like self-development and psychology.
This is not normal behavior. Oh my lord. The reality is that Gerard Khalil is a professional actor. He has produced hundreds of YouTube videos and live streams where he is performing public speaking. His entire career is built upon talking in front of a camera.
When did you decide that this was at least somewhat of a business venture and that it was something you kind of wanted to focus on in a professional manner?
A lot of things are going to take care of themselves if we can just go out and try to meet a lot of women.
2017 is when sort of content creation in speedrunning blew up. I had the idea of getting into it, but having the idea is one thing and actually doing it is another thing. For example, I wasn't sure if people would like the sound of my voice.
Hello, you absolute legends. He's a horrible actor. He's not funny. Also, his voice just hurts to listen to.
Hi, Karl Jobst here, creator of ApproachHerNow.com. And if you're looking to increase your level of confidence around women and decrease the amount of anxiety you feel when you want to approach women, you've come to the right place.
And he doesn't really know how to move his face.
For a long time, I wanted to be an entrepreneur, start an online business. I am going to approach this weekend.
Sorry to bother you. I just wanted to say I think you are really, really cute.
If you can't approach, it's because you don't know how.
Sorry, I don't want to bother you guys. I just want to say I think you are really, really cute.
I went from someone who couldn't approach at all to someone who could approach whenever I wanted.
I don't mean to bother you. I just want to say I think you are really, really cute.
Building confidence is very similar to building muscle.
Guys, don't want to bother you. Just want to say I think you are really, really cute.
If you found it difficult to approach women in the past, I can assure you it's not because there's something wrong with you.
Sorry, I don't want to bother you. Just want to say you are really, really sexy.
If you can't approach, it's because you don't know how.
So you say the compliment, then you just look at her, do nothing for about 1 to 2 seconds, and basically take in her response and see what she does.
And if you'd like, you can speak with me directly, one-on-one in one of our online coaching sessions. During our coaching sessions, you can speak with me from anywhere in the world, and I will tell you exactly what you need to do in order to get the results you want.
His entire career is built upon talking in front of a camera. Fuck. The point of a YouTube video is just to convey an idea and entertain people.
If any super males are out there listening.
Karl Jobst has threatened to delete this channel. I will report him to YouTube. So he's talking about me. I will speak with my YouTube partner. He is going to sue me for defamation. You are trying to take down my entire channel, Karl. I was begging for mercy for Karl, for his son and wife. At the end of every live stream, no one is expecting mercy out of you. If this had been flipped, there would be no mercy for you, Billy Mitchell. I'm asking mercy because there's a young child involved, and this will financially ruin that young child. I'm going to talk about mercy. Karl would not have shown you a shred of mercy.
This is exactly who Billy Mitchell is. He is a monster with no heart or decency. I genuinely believe Billy may end up in prison at some point in the future.
This is what mercy is. Mercy is not expected. It's not guaranteed. If mercy was guaranteed, it wouldn't be mercy. I was begging for mercy for Karl. I was a Karl supporter. I bloody loved Karl. I loved Karl.
Back in my day, when I was a fucking gamer, when I would play new games, people would be like, oh, this game abused their workers, so we're not going to buy it. That was based. That was awesome. Now we got a bunch of pussy baby, like, you know that meme with the big, strong, buff dog, and then you got the little crybaby dog? Like, gamers, like, back 20 years ago, 15 years ago, they were like, yeah, if your game studio does fucked up shit, we'll pirate your game, bitch. And nowadays, it's like, if your game studio commits a genocide or enforces a genocide, or I'll still buy the game because I grew up with it, man. I grew up with it. Gamers nowadays are fucking cucks.
Dear YouTubers, you want nothing to do with suing someone. Don't think that it's a good idea because King Billy won. You are not King Billy.
Doing 22 videos of the same content, repeatedly calling somebody a con man. You're 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 a con man.
Karl Jobst expressed excitement at the idea of a lawsuit until he broke down in tears in the witness box. Karl Jobst cried.
If you have enough confidence, you can get as much success with women as you want.
Chocolate.
This is the Above It All show. I do a show. It's called Above It All.
I had some good news recently. Someone got me in contact with Notch again. I haven't gotten the money yet, but Notch is back.
Notch, the creator of Minecraft, funded the early and late stages of Mr. Jobs' legal defense, but he did not fund Mr. Jobs for a time in the middle of the case.
Right at the beginning of the lawsuit, right, Notch, the creator of Minecraft, he made a tweet saying, hey, Karl, I'm going to pay your legal bills. And I'm like, hell yeah, that's awesome. He got me in contact with his manager, and then she started paying my legal bills. And like 3 months in, the manager's like, we want to stop supporting you.
The lawsuit started in September 2021. Mr. Jobs exhausted the money that Notch gave him in or about May 2022.
What ended up happening was I got a really good law firm, because when a billionaire comes at you and says, I'm going to pay your legal bills, you get a fucking good lawyer. But then when Notch pulled out, I was stuck with this really expensive lawyer on my own. And then lately I've been super stressed about money because the money's run out. I'm paying for it now. Over the course of like a 2.5-year lawsuit, that has just ballooned out to massive costs. And that's one of the reasons I did a GoFundMe.
On May 10th, 2022, Mr. Jobs published a video about me that led my lawyers to send a concern notice to his lawyer. At this time, the funds that Mr. Notch gave to Mr. Jobs ran dry. Notch's money was exhausted. He needed money, and he needed money now. But he knew his viewers may not open wallets if he was transparent about the true subject of the lawsuit.
Hello, you absolute legends. As many of you know, last year I was officially sued by Billy Mitchell. In September of 2021, Mitchell filed a $450,000 lawsuit against me. I have done absolutely nothing wrong. Maybe if I was the only variable in this whole mess, I could battle my way through it alone. But unfortunately, this affects my entire family too. So I have set up a GoFundMe to help with my fight against Billy Mitchell. This GoFundMe is set to cover the rest of my existing lawsuit, plus the new lawsuit that Billy Mitchell says he will be filing.
6 months of silence passed between Mr. Jobs receiving the correspondence concerning a potential second lawsuit and then him opening his GoFundMe campaign.
In 2022, Billy sent me a third concerns notice because of a video I released in April, and he followed that up with another lawsuit, of which he sent to my lawyers and told them he was going to file it against me. And then he sent me a fourth concerns notice. Oh my lord. Billy Mitchell is a joke. He has become a parody of himself. This letter is nothing short of hilarious, and I would otherwise be laughing if not for the fact that this is a real letter written by a real lawyer that my lawyers really had to respond to.
On November 4th, 2022, he reaches back 6 months to May of 2022. Mr. Jobs' defense that his GoFundMe campaign intended to crowdfund for a second potential lawsuit is bullshit.
The subject of Apollo or cheating, that gets views, that gets clicks, that gets people noticing it, and that makes those guys lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of money in the background.
This narrative that this whole thing was only ever about Apollo Legend is completely false. And if that were the case, Billy would not have taken action against me on 4 separate occasions, with 3 of those having nothing to do with Apollo Legend. That is why I never thought this whole thing was actually about Apollo Legend. That is why I never thought this whole thing was actually about Apollo Legend. My feelings don't care about your facts.
Remember, the whole idea of why Billy is, quote, so evil is that Apollo Legend had to take down some of his videos. It wasn't that Karl Jobst was a really good friend to Apollo Legend. They were best friends or even friends. And then Apollo blanked himself and then Karl had to take revenge. Karl has become what he hated most, but even worse than that.
You sent me a list of things that you'd like to touch on. He asked for a bunch of money to countersue Billy Mitchell.
$28,000?
And then he does an about face on that thing real quick. Says he's returning all the money to fans. I don't know if that ever happened or not.
It's not a good look, given that he's settled and then he's got this GoFundMe and then went radio silent. I'm not sure where that money is held. It's weird that he would create those videos, but then do a complete 180. Creating videos saying, I'm never going to back down. Creating videos saying, I'm never going to back down. I'm never going to back down. Gossip was going around that there was a 5-figure settlement that Apollo had to pay Billy Mitchell.
I had been personally told there was a cash settlement. The idea that Apollo Legend may have paid Billy Mitchell a large sum of money was already out in the public. In a 2020 Easyscape video, he said this.
Like I mentioned at the start of the video, there's a good chance that Apollo had to pay Billy a large amount of money in the settlement, and rumors online suggest it to be anywhere from $10,000 to $50,000 if this is what happened. Apollo needs to be held responsible for this. He effectively scammed over 1,000 people for $28,000. What if Billy ends up filing a lawsuit against Karl Jobst and we need to raise money for his defense? Despite how critical this video is, I do not seek death or pain upon Apollo.
You sent me a list of things that you'd like to touch on.
I didn't say what he claims that I said, and my source for what I did say was not just a deleted post on Reddit. It's all speculation, but what's interesting is that there was a Reddit post sort of just a few weeks before Apollo made his announcement saying that Apollo's had to get a job and he's working to pay back his settlement from Billy Mitchell, and it's taking his toll on him. And this is before he made any comments about settle or whatever. And then a few weeks later, he's made this post saying that he's made an agreement with Billy Mitchell.
Without a single source except a now deleted post on Reddit. Now deleted post was his only source where he blamed me for taking the life of another human being.
Let's look at the complete evidence Karl Jobst had before accusing somebody of being involved in someone else's death. Mia says, from what he talked about, he needed to work more to cover the settlement's payment schedule, as well as the significant mental health toll the ordeal took on him. Dark Viper AU also launched a pretty strong attack, and many of his followers piled onto Apollo.
Obviously, a Reddit post isn't usually very credible, but this person made these comments and was talking about the settlement before the settlement was even public, which implied to me that they knew what they were talking about and it was trustworthy.
What the hell is this, guys? Like, this is the evidence to lose almost $2 million on. Who is Mio456? Did anyone find out who this user is on Reddit?
Unfortunately, this does take a couple of minutes of research, which is something that journalists these days don't seem very interested in doing. My life was basically ruined.
Go ahead. Make history.
I blame Cat Despira and Ersatz Cats for fucking over Karl.
Hello, my name is Walter, Ersatz Cats.
They turned his Discord server into an equivalent of an echo chamber of complete bullshit. Karl Jobst gets most of his information from another individual and friends of Cat Despira.
I'm Walter, I go by Ersatz Cats online.
Cat Despira was the former writer for Twin Galaxies, and she's extremely bitter in the fact that she could never get married to Billy Mitchell.
I spoke with Melanie Griffith yesterday. She was terrific.
This woman was the previous writer for Twin Galaxies, and the only reason that she got involved with Ersatz Cats and Karl Jobst and Apollo Legend, the only reason she did that is because she didn't get the Billy D. She didn't get the easy life to sit around on her ass, become the wife of Billy Mitchell, and do fuck all nothing. That's the 110 fucking % truth. She's bitter. She's bitter that she didn't have a fucking easy life. It's so fucking petty that it's not even funny. I personally don't like her because she lied to both me and Apollo Legend. Apollo Legend, about 3 to 4 years before his passing, uploaded a video called The King of Con, which started the entire thing against him and Billy Mitchell. In said video clip, there is a segment where Apollo Legend himself shows off emails, or quote-unquote emails, although all of these papers and documents that Apollo had shown on the video clip were all forged and illegally obtained or made up by Cat Despira because she couldn't get married to the man. I'm not even kidding you.
I got several internal Twin Galaxies documents from Catherine Despira.
I was approached. In this case scenario, you will see warfare is coming to me with Ersatz Cats bullshit. I also told Ersatz Cats in my comment section to fuck off and don't come back. I said it then, and I'm gonna say it now. He can fuck off.
Is this like, what is this like? Hold on. What is this profile picture, man? There's no way. I'm sorry, I've never seen this before. What is this? Is this AI generated?
This is Cat, who's very involved in this, who is probably the biggest Billy Mitchell hater, and probably the biggest lover of Karl Jobst. My impression is that there's no way on earth Billy pulls a win here. He conceded so many of his important points. His own witnesses shot him in the foot. His case was dead by day 2 at the latest, and probably before that. What content did I talk about? I talked about Cat. Cat's content is extremely biased. Where's Cat? Where's Cat? How many times you want to see this cat?
I said I have murdered a man and I want to confess.
Are you going to appeal?
The lawsuit has taken an extreme mental toll on me. I've been covering this story for years. I am the Billy Mitchell guy. I've been having an existential crisis. The trial is insane. It's hard to think about anything else. People have been misled. I decided to cheat. This was all too much of a burden, and paid him a large sum of money. Because he is the monster of pandemonium. Hopefully next time we talk, we'll be talking about how I fucked Billy Mitchell up in court. At the end of 2018, the job that I had was sort of made redundant, and they wanted to move me to this other area known as debt collection. To go to the extreme and like trying to ask people to pay their debts back was definitely not for me.
I didn't want to go here, Carl, but you forced me to go here. Let's not do this, Carl. Let's not do this, Carl. Let's not do this.
His talent is in his hands. He was a basketball.
You have, the evil Darth Vader and as Billy Mitchell, then you have this underdog Luke Skywalker, Steve Weed.
Compulsive lies generally have some sort of weird mental issue.
Compulsive lies generally have some sort of weird mental issue.
Thank you for watching to the end.
I feel good, man.